We are all very kanchiong to get a job because we understand that living in Singapore is very cutthroat, you know. So
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hashtag Good Talk. Right, my name is Lester, and for today's episode, we'll be talking about the future of our work. But before we start, let us get to know our youth for today.
Hi everyone, my name is Dylan.
hello, I'm Shafa.
Hello, I'm Keen.
Today, there has been so many dialogues about job security and uncertainty in this current climate. How has the anxiety about the economy and about the job losses that we've been seeing affecting the youth like you and I?
I think recently I was up till 5 in the morning and I was going through jobs in Singapore. Couldn't find any. No, I'm kidding. I could find a few jobs here and there. But I think it's just really scary because the cost of living in Singapore is really high. So you need to find a job that is able to meet the standards of living that you would like. To me, I'm a bit anxious about it. And I feel like it's because, whatever you learn in school and whatever you practice in real life doesn't normally correlate. So I kind of don't know how it will work for me when I'm going to work, right? But are the skills I learned from school relevant for me?
I'm currently studying communications and media. The fact that it's already bad enough that in Singapore, my job is not very common. And then with the pandemic and everything, the demand for, broadcasting, they have gotten lower, definitely. It does boggle my mind that do I actually have a future in terms of what I want to do in the future? Yeah, will my job still exist? Or is there enough demand to actually let me enter the industry itself?
I think as for myself, I'm kind of similar to Dylan in terms of my self-esteem and also my confidence, whether the skills that I learned today will be relevant to when I graduate in 3 years' time. I'm aspiring to become a social worker, so I think there will be a lot of changes, especially in Singapore as the government tries to step up its work on the social service sector.
With all those that we've discussed about, just want to ask you guys, how do you think the landscape of careers and jobs to evolve in the coming years?
I think the COVID-19 pandemic is a very good wake-up call for everyone here. Reason being is that we used to go about our daily lives and the economy was just stagnant. It was just like you go to work and then everything is normal. I think that it will evolve to maybe being more online and being more work from home kind of thing. Instead of you go to an office, I don't think there'll be offices in the future. I think your office would be 5 minutes, no, not even 5 minutes, 10 seconds outside your bed, walk a little bit, and then your desk. And that'll be your office. I think all of us have made that into our own personal workspaces, even for students. And I think a lot of people have realized that actually working from home is quite cost efficient. But then again, that's just my take about how it can move on to the future. But I would believe that I think everything will be work from home and home-based learning.
Work from home is definitely going to be something that a lot more companies will be considering. But you see, case by case basis, it depends on the industry that we're talking about. So for example, if we're going to be considering, like I mentioned, I'm a media student, right? Of course, we could say that we will be doing content creation from home, for example, but there's only so much that you can do from home. Traditional filming, for example, like filming on set in studio or doing field filming, that still remains. How are you going to be filming, your news reports? You still have to travel over. You still have to go to the site of where it's being filmed. So in that case, right, in terms of for example, news media, broadcast media, it still stays the same. There is not really much change. Like I said, it depends on the industry that you're talking about.
I think really the job industries, I think no matter which job industry, every single job will move towards digitalization. So I think a lot of businesses are trying to move on to move their data collection into cloud storage, but that also comes with risks like cybersecurity and hacking and things like that. So I think businesses really need to take it cautiously, but also be more open to new avenues of working.
But when you guys graduate, do you think you are equipped enough to compete with your peers?
When you are going out, to really search for a job and hire for a job, I think your employer will also understand that you are also part of, the batch that was affected by COVID. So I think make the best out of your situation, even when it comes to, your projects and stuff like that. If you are able to be resourceful in terms of how you prove yourself and your own current skill set and what you have to offer, I think it's not really a challenge, I would say, but it's definitely something that many different people will have a challenge with. Yeah.
The things that you learn as a student and the things that you do as in your job are completely different, and you just have to like learn. Like, job is basically a school, but you get paid for it. Yeah, and when you make mistakes, you lose money, but it's okay. At least you still get something. That's my opinion about it.
Now, as a year one student, I'm trying to actively look for opportunities inside and outside of school, and I try to gain as much exposure as I can, so that in hopes to be ahead of my peers by the time I reach graduation in year 3.
Everything is now online, so we have access to like so many resources, and throughout like this period we've seen masterclass, we've seen Coursera, where people get to apply and really upgrade themselves in terms of their skills and knowledge. We see so many webinars regarding digital marketing, regarding social media presence and stuff like that, because these are the things that are so popular right now. And like, your job scope is not just like what you studied before anymore. It's really constantly upgrading yourself and doing what is required of you at that time. And if you don't know it, you can just pick it up, on the spot and try. So we've discussed like about how the landscape will change in the near future, right? And I think it really is looking at the silver lining of where we are at and what we are at now, right? COVID is a curveball that has been thrown into many of our plans. But we have to live and we learn, right? We have to be quick to adapt and constantly upgrade ourselves, while considering the changes in our future plans. So I guess that's all for today's episode, right? I hope all of you have enjoyed yourself. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, you two actually like sound like you guys plan a lot until like when you guys reach like 40.
Oh, dude, you gotta have like coffee with us. We'll tell you everything.